Hello, I'm Jake, aka HamStuff, and this is the Trident. That's not a Trident, that's a netherite sword. But the Trident was introduced in 1.13, the aquatic update. Now, a Trident is unique. You can use it as a projectile that you throw, or a melee weapon that you hit stuff with, like a sword. So instead of having a bow and a sword, you can just rely on the Trident. I've always believed that it sucks. Let's find out. So, if you hit a creeper once with my enchanted netherite sword, even being on fire from the flame enchantment isn't enough to kill it. So in reality, it takes 2 hits. I honestly would have thought that a netherite sword would be a 1-hit kill. So perhaps I've hyped up the traditional weapons, the bows of this world, the swords of this world. Maybe a Trident doesn't suck as much as I thought. Now a spider I did 1-hit kill, but because it was on fire. Baby zombies, worst mob in the game, I tell ya. But reasonably easily dealt with my axe. Now, because I've got Smite, which is effective against undead mobs, that is a 1-hit kill. So can a Trident really compare? Obviously, you might be able to tell I'm doing this in voiceover because the original audio sounded terrible. But this is the realm of the Trident. Underwater. Because if you shoot a bow, I'll demonstrate this later, the arrow doesn't travel very far underwater. Because water resistance is a lot more than air resistance. But the Trident doesn't suffer the same problem. Now, usually at night, my base is an absolute mob farm. But now I actually want some mobs to spawn so I can fight them, to show off, various weapons versus the Trident. They don't want to spawn. So with bow, that'll 1-hit kill a creeper. Admittedly, the flame enchantment did help. But you can't set things on fire with the Trident. Unless of course you have channeling and then lightning or set them on fire, but channeling just doesn't work unless they've got a clear view of the sky during a thunderstorm. Channeling would work a lot better if you could hit anything with lightning at any time. So I'm really close to the zombie. It's really hard to hit because the arrows just don't have any range to them. Managed to kill it eventually though. So a sword did make quick work of that zombie. Shall we see what the Trident can do? Is it worth taking up 2 inventory slots with a sword and a bow when you can just use a Trident? So these are all the enchantments on my netherite sword. And this is what I have on my trident. I always envisioned there being a lot more enchantments for a sword than a trident, and there are more. But the difference isn't as great as I thought it would be. Lovely speed boost from a dolphin. And we're in portal with a drowned. Again, the bow is effective, but only at extremely close range. Is that really the situation where you want to use a bow? Is it time to change my mind about the trident? No disputing that golden carrots are one of the best foods in the game, though. I've no idea where I'm going at this point. More speed from a dolphin. So, fresh out of nighttime mobs to fight. Time to tackle some guardians. So swords and bows are effective. Close up, they are easier to hit with a bow than a sword. They're also very easy for them to hit me. I don't think a shield will protect you from the laser beams, but I haven't done much to test that. Well, since they're not undead, I'm not sure there's much point in using an axe, but I seem to be doing so anyway. But 2 hits, it was effective. So this half of the video, I can't English today. Mostly using old-fashioned weapons, I'll call them. You know, swords, axe, bow, that kind of thing. I wouldn't say it's going especially well with the main traditional weapons against the Guardians. Maybe there's just perhaps a reason that Mojang introduced a new weapon to be used underwater. Also, is this a fair test now that I think about it? The Trident does predate Netherite. Would using Diamond have been fairer in comparison? One problem with knockback on a sword, it knocks the enemy away from you, which if you're currently trying to hit them and they're blasting you with a laser beam, it may not work out that well for you. Why do Guardians have lasers? It seems so weird compared to every other mob that just punches you or shoots you with a bow and arrow or uses either a sword or an axe. Okay, I can't believe I didn't use my shield last time. I guess I just assumed that it wouldn't protect me from the Guardians and their laser beams. But I used mostly the traditional weapons, bow, sword, axe last time. Now, at least with Trident's time to shine. 2 hits on Spider, that's honestly better than I expected. Maybe doing it all with the unenchanted gear would be a fairer test. But a Trident is just completely useless without loyalty. Well, I'll get myself some air from bubbles. And from a random air pocket. No loot in the chest. There is, though, a drowned. So it's very easy to miss with the Trident. So 3 hits. I think I managed either 1 or 2 with an axe and a shield. Not a shield, a sword. So it is difficult to hit things that are far away. I seem to do better with a bow. It takes 3 hits to kill a creeper. Yeah, it was 2 with a sword and 1 with a bow. So it's definitely not as bad as I thought. But it's still not as good as it could be. It's kind of hard to estimate. You're against enemies wearing armour, but fortunately that skeleton was just, completely naked. And again, I think that was 3 hits. It was like bow 1, sword 2, axe 1 or 2, and trident 3. So it's definitely outclassed, at least on land. But hey, 2 shots from a spider. It's not as outclassed by as much as I thought it would be. I think the phase of the moon does have an impact on how many mobs spawn. But I can't remember what impact. Like, is it more on a full moon? Or less? I mean, it's not a full moon anyway. It's either waxing or waning. In any case, let's find something else to stab with my fork. Suspicious stew. I wonder what it'll give me. Night vision. That is admittedly kind of useful, but it just doesn't last. Yeah, suspicious stew is kind of useless. Well, here's the ocean monument. That's what it's called, right? I think Ocean Temple. To me, Ocean Temple sounds like a better name. So, unlike other mobs, except for certain zombies and skeletons with enchanted armour, guardians can hurt you when you hit them because they have like a natural thorns effect. But it's only when you're up close and personal. I really think this may well be the best weapon against guardians. Assuming you manage to hit them, which I could do a better job. I mean, it's hard to see with a face full of lasers. Whereas here, if I try and use a bow, it just falls short. The range of the Trident is just so much more. Problem is though, when you hit them they take notice. And it doesn't do much about them attacking you. That's the closest I've come to death in a while. I can edit that out. I haven't actually been counting how many times I have to hit the buggers in order to kill them. I should probably do that. One problem though, if you throw your trident too far away, it won't come back. Because it goes out of render distance. So it was 2 hits to kill him. I think that's one I hadn't hit before, so it'll be 2 hits with the trident. I think it was 2 with the sword as well. So underwater against Guardians, I'm definitely having more success, I say, as I complete the mess. But it's definitely as powerful as a sword, and I'm getting more hits in, because I don't have to swim up to them again. Because they're getting knocked back by the knockback enchantment. I just resorted to using my fist. Definitely the least effective way of taking them out. It's a lot easier now I've got hitboxes. Because sometimes it goes through the mob. Most of the time I just miss because I suck. But some of the time it definitely goes through where the mob appears to be, but the hitbox doesn't extend that far. So I started this half the episode out with a shield, because they both use right click to block and to throw. It doesn't work out that well. So I didn't have much of an opportunity to test whether a shield to protect you from laser beams. Maybe that's something you can test, and you can let me know in the comments. I'm going to see if I can do it in third person when I can't see what I'm aiming at. Limited success, I'd say. But using a trident has been a fantastic success. I was definitely too harsh in my judgment of the trident. It is actually a pretty good weapon. Remember to like, subscribe,